Let's go ahead and bring in NBC News Pentagon correspondent Courtney Kube now. She has news about vaccine exemptions for the military. Courtney, first, talk to us about this military policy and quite frankly, I mean, how is it being received from people in the military?
So it is mandatory for all members of the military, that's active duty and Guard and Reserve, to get the COVID vaccine. Now, where the variation comes in is the service and whether they are active or Guard or Reserve. The first deadline is actually tomorrow, and that's for Air Force active duty service members. All airmen are supposed to have their vaccine by tomorrow. So we expect to get the first numbers today on how many airmen and women have requested exemptions. We know now that will be just specifically for the Air Force. Other vaccine mandates or deadlines later this month, there's a couple more, but they actually go all the way until next June. That being said, we do expect to get a better sense of how many people in the military have requested exemptions so far. Defense officials are telling me there have been several thousand requests across the services. So we're talking 2.1 million men and women. There have only been several thousand requests for them. But what's important to point out here is why they're asking for these exemptions. The options are you can ask for a religious exemption or you can ask for a medical one. Now, the defense officials so far tell me that no religious exemptions have been granted across the services, not a single one. Now, they have not all been decided yet, but so far none have been granted. However, there have been some granted for medical reasons. Now, these are on a temporary basis. Things like people who are in a high-risk pregnancy or maybe have some sort of a medical going through chemotherapy or some reason that their physicians are telling them that they can't necessarily get this vaccine right now. But it's important to point out that of those people who have been granted this medical exemption, they are on a temporary basis. So again, we expect to get those numbers out of the entire military. This is a very small percentage who've requested the exemptions. What we don't yet know, though, the big number we're trying to figure out is how many, if any, are outright declining to get the vaccine because they are the ones who may face some sort of reprimand. So they may actually go through the Uniform Code of Military Justice. They could theoretically eventually be kicked out of the military if they full out decline to get the vaccine.
Wow, a lot to unpack there. Courtney Kube, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.